Hello and welcome to the next in our series of diagnostic videos. In the first video we discussed the connection of receivers and devices to the laptop or computer that you're using. In this video we want to talk about power. Now, all devices will need to be powered in some way, shape or form to operate. Transmitters located in the belfry need to be powered through the 5.5mm power jack, and that can be done using a rechargeable battery or using a mains power supply. This is a UK supply. It is 1 amp, 12 volts, and will quite happily power up to 8 receivers without any trouble at all. If you're having more than 8, you can look at having a 2 amp supply. A 2 amp supply is a few pounds more. It doesn't matter if you have a 2 amp supply on a single transmitter, but if you have a 1 amp supply and it's not quite powerful enough and you're powering 10, for example, then your power supply may get warm because it's being driven so hard. So err on the side of caution. 1 amp is fine for up to 8. Anything more than 8, you need to be looking at 2 amp supply or higher. If you're using a battery, these are Li-ion 12 volt batteries that we supply, we use. They come with a charger, a mains charger, which has an LED indicator on it which will tell you when the device is charged. One quick point: if you find your battery isn't charging for some reason, make sure that the power is switched on before you plug it in for charging. You must have the power switch on, and the power is on when the side of the switch with the LED in it is pushed in. Once you've done that, plug in your charger, put your charger into the wall, and it will charge quite happily in a few hours. So be aware that if your battery isn't charging, turn it on. Receivers are generally powered through the USB cable to your computer. Most computers now have enough power coming from the charging port on the device. It's usually one which has a little like a lightning flash on the port itself, indicates a charging port. If your laptop is older or doesn't have the required power rating to keep the receiver fully powered with a maximum radio transmission, then you can do one of two things. You either turn down the power of the receiver. If you don't need it running at maximum power, there are switches, instructions in the manual. You can simply adjust the switches to drop it down to high power, medium power or low power. There is another video available about doing that. Or alternatively, you can take your battery and a cable, or your 12 volt supply and a cable, and there is a socket similar to a transmitter's socket that will allow the receiver to operate at full power. So if you're having transmission difficulties and you want to make sure you're running at full power, plugging in a 12 volt supply will enable you to do that. If you are wiring your transmitters permanently into the belfry, what is very common is that you create your own cables that go around the bell frame, and you can purchase, or we can supply, these small connectors that basically will allow you to make up your own custom length cables, so you haven't got cables that are on the floor, and these can then be plugged into splitters to make the shortest possible routes, and then all go back to one cable into which you plug your battery pack or your 12 volt power pack to be able to turn on and off all of the transmitters in one go from one location. Be careful if you're using these connectors that you have the polarity right. They are marked as positive and negative on each of the connectors, and when you're using bell type cable, it doesn't have to be heavy cable, it's only a 12 volt supply. Make sure that you have a line that runs down one of the strands of the cable so that you can ensure you're plugging positive to positive on both ends. If you get them the wrong way round, you will damage the transmitter or the receiver by having the wrong polarity. And it also obviously won't work. If you want to know whether you have got power at a particular transmitter, it's very easy to see simply by taking the bottom off the transmitter, and if I plug this one into my battery here and power it up, you can see there are numerous red lights. As long as you can see a red light, then there is power on the transmitter. If you can't see it, you need to check your cabling. Make sure, if you're using these type of connectors, make sure that your wires are tight. So the power problems that you might have are usually around the cables, looking for damage, looking where someone has trodden on them, making sure they're all fully connected. If you are using a 12 volt main supply, make sure that the main supply obviously is working. But it is possible that these fail. We have over the years had a few 12 volt supplies that with extended use just stop working. There's usually no reason for it that we can see. It's just unlucky, but they are very inexpensive, and you can pick them up from just about any electrical shop, or even on places like Amazon. Okay, so that's about all there is as far as power is concerned with the Simbell system. If you have any questions, please post them below, or alternatively drop us an email and we will respond as soon as possible. So hope that's been useful. Thank you for watching, and good luck with your ringing.